good. So 2 seconds and I will be with you and we'll get this live chat underway. Technology, eh? Any time today would be good, YouTube, if you want to do your thing. Sync up. Here we go. That's excellent. There we go, I think. Kick into action would be great. There we are. We're off. We're up and running. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Brooks's Bass Corner, live chat number 30. This is the last of this run of live chats. We've done 10 every Tuesday. This is number 30 overall of all the live chats here on the channel. So if you're tuning in, you're very welcome. Evening, afternoon or morning, wherever you are. It's evening here, 7 o'clock, a little bit chilly here at Brooks Towers. Not particularly warm, and we're just entering a cold snap here in the UK. So it is a little bit frosty, but we're trying to keep warm and doing our thing. And if you've never frequented one of our live chats before, you are welcome. Everyone's welcome here on Brooks's Bass Corner. It's just the ones that turn up and cause trouble that aren't. How this works is basically, this is a bass channel. We talk about bass guitars. We talk about bass amplifiers, bass effects, bass accessories, famous bass players, bands with great bass players. Anything you want to talk about that's bass related, you are more than welcome. It's a live chat, so there's a live chat window. If you're on the mobile app, it's below this video. If you're on the desktop app, it's that way. And basically, there's a big window there. You can put your comments, your questions, put them in there, press return. They pop up here on my laptop window, and I can see when you're trying to communicate as part of this live chat. It's a two-way process. So if you guys don't interact with me, you're going to listen to me for an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, who knows. But if you guys make it a two-way conversation, it's a whole lot more interesting. And we've had some great live chats in recent weeks. So if you want to contribute to this, if you've got any problems with any gear you might have, or you've got some gigs coming up and you're a bit nervous about them, or you're trying to put a pedal board together, or you're thinking about buying a new bass for Christmas, or family are thinking about buying you something for Christmas and you're just not sure, ask me. I might be able to help. I've got 35 years playing experience. I've got 27 years of being a professional bass player. I wrote for Bass Guitar Magazine and Bass Player for 18 years. I've been around basses for longer than I can remember. So if I can help in any way, or if I've got some experience with a particular bass related problem, if I can help you, that's what I'm here for. A couple of weeks ago, we had a guy come on here from Texas, and he had some problems with his pedals and he didn't know how to chain them up and he just wasn't getting great sounds. We spent about 30 minutes talking to him, and we got his pedal board up and running and some great tones coming out of it, and gave him some ideas about some other bass pedals that he might be thinking about in the future. So that's kind of what we're here for. So it's not just me, there's a whole group of other bass players here who frequent this live chat. So, you know, if you've got a problem, you're amongst friends. We can try and help if you've got something technological, or your bass is, maybe the temperature's changed where you live and the neck has started playing up and it's looking like a banana, or it might even have gone the other way. I had that happen myself a couple of months back with a Precision, with the neck, instead of going concave, it went convex. And the moisture and humidity just made it go the opposite direction. I had to loosen off the truss rod, get the thing back in shape, and then get it back to where it needed to be. So live chats, how do they work? So basically, with that live chat window, you can put in your questions, your comments, anything regarding the channel, anything you see here. If I'm seeing what's on my camera. So we're talking Dingwalls, we're talking EBS amplifiers. There's a Lodestone bass there with some Martin Sims Super Quad pickups. There's a Mesa Boogie Strategy 888 up here, which is all valves. There's Aguilar gear behind me and Hartkey gear. some Gensbens, an Avalon, U5 DI, some Gallion-Kruger stuff. Yeah, there's gear everywhere here in my office. So if you've got any bass related questions, something you want to ask, stick it in that live chat window and I will respond to it as soon as I see it pop up. See, we've got Stacey from North Carolina in the US. Good evening, my dear. I hope you're well. Hope it's a little warmer where you are than it is here, because they're saying we might get down below -3, -4 tonight, which is going to be wonderful, isn't it? But we soldier on. It is winter after all. So if you're watching the football, maybe you're watching the Portugal game, or maybe you're not and you want to know the score, I've got it here running on a separate window on my laptop, so I can keep you up to date on the scores. Portugal, Switzerland, it's 0-0 at the moment. They've only played 3 minutes, or so it says on my feed. If you don't know what the score of the earlier game was, Morocco beat Spain on penalties, knocked them out 0-0 after extra time. Spain missed all their penalties. Morocco scored 3. Morocco through. Spain are out. Big news. So who knows? Maybe Switzerland could do something similar to Portugal. When I looked at the fixtures at the start of the week, I had it fairly solid. It was going to be a Spain-Portugal quarter-final. It isn't anymore. So it's Morocco against someone. So we will see. But I'll keep you up to date on the scores as we go through the evening. Let's see, what else do we have to say this week? So what have I been doing? So since I last spoke to you, which was last Tuesday, we did an impromptu live chat on Saturday. I was doing a Platinum ABBA gig, ABBA tribute, obviously, in, goodness, where were we? Dorking Halls in Surrey, which was on Saturday. And I had, I did it as a bit of an experiment to see how my phone would cope on mobile internet, providing a camera feed for a live chat. And it worked very well. Actually, the actual quality of the feed. Hi, George Iliadis. How you doing? Hope you're well. The actual quality of the feed was far better than the Wi-Fi feed I had at a venue a couple of weeks ago, where I looked like some sort of character out of Minecraft or something out of Lego. I was all blocky and, you know, looked like a Commodore 64 character. Patrick Sweeney, evening. How you doing? Hope everything's good where you are, sir. So yes, so that live feed via mobile internet seemed to work very well. And yeah, and so we were backstage at Dorking Halls. I had my my drumming partner for these ABBA shows. We've got 4 this month, I think we're doing. Dorking Halls, 2, Bracknell, Wimble. Yeah, 4. Last year we did 5. We're doing 4 this year. So I'll be doing ABBA tomorrow in Bracknell at the Wild Theatre. We're there again next Tuesday. And I've also got ABBA on Thursday this week at the Tivoli Theatre in Wimborne, which is down near Poole in Dorset. So if you're near any of those theatres and you want to come along, let me know. If you let me know far enough in advance, i.e. a couple of hours before we go on, I can sort guest list tickets and what have you. And you're more than welcome to come along. For all I know, you might already have tickets, in which case I hope you enjoy the show. We had an absolute barnstormer on Saturday at Dorking. I think they were close to sold out, and it was absolutely heaving. The audience were fabulous. Loved every minute as far as I could tell, and they were really loud when they were singing their parts in various songs. They were absolutely off the scale. So well done, Dorking. Nice one. Well played. And what else did I have? Friday I had Uncle Funk, and that was at the Spotlight Theatre in Hoddesdon, which is kind of Hertfordshire, Cambridgeshire way, north of London. And that was a great gig. Yeah, I think we sold something like 650 tickets, I think, but it was packed. It was really good. We had a great night. Yeah, and more of that this week. So I've got Uncle Funk on Saturday, so ABBA tomorrow, ABBA Thursday, Friday night off, which is a bizarre thing. Cam Voodoo, good evening, sir. I hope you're well. Good to see you. Welcome, everyone. You're more than welcome, you know that. And yes, so 2 ABBAs this week. Friday night off, which is bizarre in December. I can't remember last time I had a Friday off. in December, probably during lockdown, but that doesn't really count. And then we've got Uncle Funk on Saturday, and then next week is ABBA Tuesday. Off to see Bryan Adams at the O2 next Wednesday, I think. Yeah, losing track of the days. And then there's Uncle Funk 2 next week. So busy times. Fanfrit Steve, evening. Thank you for your response to my my community page question the other night about the live chat. So for those of you who know, and regular teeth back in, I keep slipping out. It's always on live chats. This is the last one of this run of 10, but that doesn't mean there won't be impromptu live chats when I'm out at gigs. Now that we know the mobile internet can take it, there probably will be. But once we get the other side of Christmas, and you guys have had some time to enjoy the holidays, we're going to start live chats up again. I just wanted to know who, well, we actually raised the question last week, didn't we? Who would be up for regular live chats going forward from January? And I'd gone through my diary and it looked like, apart from one Tuesday in March, I think every other Tuesday for the rest of the year at the moment I'm free. I got a very positive response on this corresponding live chat last week. I didn't get such a great positive response on the question that went on the community tab, but that's the way it goes. So we'll see. It might be that I have to do it month by month. And clearly, if I see numbers dropping and you guys just aren't interested, or you think, nah, I've had enough, then I'll rein it back in. But if the numbers continue growing, then we'll keep going. I can see messages popping up. It's great. Stacey, hey, the gang's all here. Yeah. Fanfrit Steve, you mentioned issued last week. Sorry, Steve, your message doesn't read in English. You mentioned issued last week on the Hoddesdon gig. I don't know what you mean, sir. You might have typed that a little quickly. Maybe a spell checker's kicked in. And I find that happens to me all the time on various apps these days. You go to type something and it automatically does a weird spell check, and it's almost like predictive text. Yeah, not sure what you meant there, Steve. So if you want to say that one again, and I'll try and work out what you mean. Yeah. So there we go. So it's live chat time, clearly. Number 30, Tuesday evening. I keep doing that. It is nippy here. We've got the heating on and it's still cold. So this is number 30, last one of these kind of pre-booked live chats. So we will come back and do regular scheduled live chats in January. But there will be some impromptu live chats over the month while I'm out on gigs, now that I know the mobile internet can take it on my phone. So that will be cool. If you've never frequented a live chat before, live chat window is there on the mobile app. It's below this video. On the desktop, it's that way. I can see it right in front of me. If you've got comments, questions, anything you want to ask about bass guitars, bass amps, bass speakers, bass effects, bass accessories, famous bass players, great bands that add great bass players, anything about stuff that's already here on the channel. You want to ask anything about any of the series, any of the interviews, any of the Essential Bass Albums series. You might want to ask about any of the reviews or demos. Fire it in that live chat window and I'll respond to it as soon as I see it. There's an option here in the live chat window. You can add emojis to the conversation. Feel free, knock yourselves out. That's all cool. There's also a dollar symbol, which allows you to make a financial contribution to the channel. I'm intending this channel being around for years, and I will do my best to sort of fill it with content that you guys want to see. If you wish to make a financial contribution to the channel, it's really appreciated because it allows me to buy studio time to do some of the videos I want to do. It allows me to buy all the equipment that allows me to make the videos and edit the videos and sound recording and visual stuff, cameras, lights, all of that gubbins. It also allows me to buy the bits and pieces that are featured in the reviews, the demos, the workshop videos, all of that sort of thing. You don't have to contribute at all. This is all free. You could, that's all fine. That's the way it works. If you wish to make a contribution, you can do via the live chat feature. Alternatively, in every video on this channel, because we're monetized, underneath the video, you'll see icons for thumbs up, thumbs down, There'll be share buttons, save to watch later. There's also a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's called super thanks. So when we're doing a live chat, you can contribute within the chat. That's called super chat. For each individual video, you've got super thanks. So if you enjoy the video or you like the content that that creator puts up on his channel, you can say, I really like your stuff. I'd like to contribute to what you do. You don't have to do it. The content is all free. But if you like what certain content providers do and how they do it, you can say thanks, or if you're watching a video and it solves a problem that you might have, it could be a base related problem on someone else's site. It could be how to negotiate the error codes on your boiler if your boiler goes down. That might be quite handy this time of year. And I know we had it a couple of years ago. Our boiler just went bizarre during the summer months, and it turned out 2 of the electrodes or probes inside that deal with the gas flow had gone. I didn't know how to fix it. Our builder, who was here at the time, went on YouTube, found a video and worked out, oh, this is what's happened. That's what that error code means. Now, had I watched that video, I might have said to the guy that provided the content, thanks, because you've really helped me out. Now I know what the problem is. So that's how that kind of works. In the new year, we're going to have merchandise available. There will also be a membership scheme coming up. And I know I've been talking about that virtually all year. It was just trying to get my head around how to do it and what to offer you guys, and whether it's a structured scheme with different levels, so different amounts of money for different content, or whether it's a smaller thing and it's just a one price fits all. So I'm trying to sort of nail that down. What have I actually got time to create? So if I'm going to charge like either for one fee or for more, how can I give you valuable content that's worth you joining the membership scheme? All these things take working out. None of it's simple, because you've got to think ahead. I can't promise I'm going to deliver 5 videos a month on a membership scheme and not even provide 5 videos on the channel anyway. So it takes working out. Fanfret Steve, try again. Good start. Mike, you mentioned wireless issue on the Hoddesdon gig. Yes. Was this on a 2.4G system? Any thoughts on best practice to avoid dropouts? Right. Thank you for bringing that up, because that is a really pertinent point. And when it happened, I thought, oh, we could talk about that on the live chat. So I use a Line 6 G90 rack mount. It's their Line 6's top of the range wireless system. I've never had a problem with it. I've owned it since early 2019. Used it on loads of gigs. I don't use it every gig, because not every gig I need to use a wireless system on my bass. But some of the gigs I've been doing, the bigger gigs, and certainly with ABBA, unless I use a really, really long lead, there are a couple of sections where I have to go to the front. So on Friday, I was at Hoddesdon with Uncle Funk, and at soundcheck, everything was fine. Everything was working fine. I was walking around the stage. There were no dropouts. I see Portugal have just gone 1-0 up, for those who need to know. Gonçalo Ramos, 1-0 to Portugal. So I was walking around the stage on the Uncle Funk gig, and everything was fine. No dropouts. Wireless was fine. Checked with the sound man. Yeah, he said, yeah, everything's fine. I looked at the rack mount. It had the full RF signal. Batteries were full. No problem. Came out for the first set. Couple of songs in, everything's fine. I'm stood right in front of the wireless and my little rig, my Aguilar rig. Everything was fine. And then there were a couple of moments where I just walked to my right, but stage left, if you're in the audience watching the stage. I went to just play in front of the drum kit. I like having drums in my ears behind me. And I noticed the bass dropped out, and I thought, I did play that note. In fact, I played all those notes in that run, and there were a couple of little dropouts. I'm like, okay, just keep an eye on that. It puts you on edge. You're starting to think, well, okay. And you start to doubt yourself. Maybe I did miss the note. I didn't think I did. And then it happened again. And it happened again. And every time I walked back in front of the cabinet, everything was fine. As soon as I walked to the side of the where my bass cab and my rack was, it would drop out. And I was like, I don't need this. I really don't need this. Not for the first gig in December. So I put fresh batteries in at half time. I could have switched over to a cable, but I thought, oh, well, maybe it's just the batteries. Swapped the batteries over to a brand new set of Pro Cells, and it did it constantly throughout the second set. And because of the nature of the Uncle Funk show, there isn't much of a gap between songs. We pretty much bang, 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 bang. Frontman might do a few words of chat to the audience, but we're pretty quick. So there was no time to stop, unplug, put the cable in, and I'm going from the wireless system through to the pedal board, back out, then back into the amp. And I just thought, just soldier on, see how far you get. I was beginning to wonder if it was sounding like it was dropping out in my in-ears. And actually the bass was fine. Because when I asked at half time, did anyone in the band hear the bass drop out? And no one said yes. And I thought, oh, well, maybe it's me. Maybe it's my in-ears. Maybe they're over compressing or something. Second half, when we came off, said to the band, did anyone hear the bass drop out? And 3 or 4 of them went, yeah, what happened? I said, I don't know. I said, I was playing the notes. Everything was there. However, during the second set, I bent down and looked at the wireless rack mount, and I could see the RF signal going up, down, up, down, up, down throughout the set. So there was something in that room, another piece of equipment, maybe another wireless system. Bear in mind it's line 6, so you're not on standard wireless frequencies. It works on its own system. But there was something in there that was hitting the receiver in my rack. And so that then put me on edge for Saturday. So on the ABBA gig, I made sure during sound check, fresh batteries, checked the bass batteries, they were fine. I did the whole walk around the stage, quite a big stage at Dorking Halls. I went in every direction and bass didn't drop out once. And I'm watching that RF meter to see if there's anything on the signal or if it's something to do with the actual unit itself. Worked perfectly on the show, no dropouts. So the only thing I can put that down to at Hoddesdon was there was either one of our mics or a piece of equipment, or it might not have even been in the venue. It could have been something in the locale, maybe outside the building, whatever, I don't know. But it was hitting that wireless system. So, I don't know. On a 2.4G system, I couldn't tell you. It's whatever the line 6 G90 runs at. And I'm just on the default setting. So I don't know if that's running at 2.4 or not, sorry. Any thoughts on best practice to avoid dropouts? Have a good cable ready. I had one. I put it on the floor. But like I say, with Uncle Funk, there's very little time to get to the end of a song, tune up, and then swap over to a cable. Maybe what I should have done was had it looped around the strap, maybe, and had it dangling there, and had the end ready to go into the amp, which would have then bypassed the pedal setup. Or had that jack down there, I could have muted, gone bang, bang, and we would have been ready to go. But I was in the heat of battle. I didn't have any of that sort of clarity of thinking at the time. But that's the thing. The other thing is always make sure, check your batteries. I now have I have like a mic bag in my, I have like a little black bag that I take with me to every gig. It's got small bits and pieces. I've now got a mic bag that I'm putting my dead batteries in. And I've got like a small battery box here that I'm putting sound check batteries. So they're batteries that have done a gig or two and they're starting to hit 1 on the battery level indicator. So if they're on 1, they're for sound check. So I can turn them on. If they die, it doesn't matter, it's sound check. But for the gig, fresh batteries. Just don't risk it. It's just not worth it. But I mean, I have like 6 boxes of AA's and 3 boxes of 9-volt batteries all ready to go. And this month is hectic because all the shows I'm going to be doing, I think, are going to be wireless anyway. So yeah, and then the AA's are for the in-ears, 9 volts are for the basses, and some of the pedals if I'm not using powered setup. But But yeah, so there we go. Can Voodoo, I had an L1 error on my boiler yesterday. Sounds painful. I had to fill the loop again up to 1 bar. Been down that road myself. Found the answer on YouTube. Well, there you go. This is the thing. So many things in life now. You know, something wrong with your car. Go on YouTube. There'll be a video about it. I had that very problem today. Past couple of days. Since Saturday, had an awful grinding, rattling noise that I thought was coming from the engine, and I thought, I just don't need this. Start of December, loads of gigs coming. I don't need car issues. Got the RAC out today. Kind of had worked out yesterday that the rattling wasn't coming from the engine, it was coming from underneath the car, probably from about the point, if you drew a line down the front of the car, from the footwell to about the middle point of the car. RAC guy turned up. I got out. Engine was on. You could hear this rattling. So I think it's the exhaust, mate. And he got down on his mat. He said, yeah, your heat shield's popped off. He said, basically, looked at the car, 10-year-old car. The bolts that went in, the metal of the heat shield had basically rattled off. So it wasn't being held in place anymore. It was just rattling. He pulled it off. There you go. There's your heat shield. It's like, oh, right. What do I do with that? He said, well, if you're going to get some new tyres anytime soon, he said, take that with you. And if they've got some big enough washers, they can put it back on, or just they may have another heat shield. Or if not, you're going to have to go to Toyota and get one. It's like, great. Okay. I said, is it going to cause me a problem? He went, no. He said, you should be fine, but just for the fact of having it, he said, if they can put this back on with big enough washers that will cover the holes where the metal has rotted, he said, just go with that. So, yeah. So, I know exactly what you're talking about. Patrick Sweeney, boiler. What's a boiler? We live in the middle of nowhere. Oil fired out here. We used to have an oil set up here when we moved in. It didn't last very long. It was we got rid of it very quickly. Not really base related. That's all right, Patrick. You've got credit in the bank, mate. I'm not one of these channels that says everything has to be base when we're doing a live chat. It's cool. You're known to the owner. it's all fine. It's no problem at all. So yeah, so that was the problem with the old with the wireless. I can only assume there was something in that building on Friday that was causing me a problem, and I've never had a problem with that wireless system. That's why I bought the G90, because it was meant to be the bells and whistles that Line 6 had on offer a couple of years ago, and I know a few players. I think Billy Sheehan was using them for a number of years, may still do for all I know, but I've never had a problem with it, and that was the first time. So now I know any gig I use that G90 on at sound check that RF meter and watch it. And if it starts going up and down, you got an issue, go on to the lead. But now I know, you know, mid-gig, it was a little terrifying. Oh, we got a little flying thing. You need to be careful, sir. You're going to freeze to death outside. Yeah, so we will see. We will see. But hopefully it'll be fine tomorrow. I used the same setup at the same theatre. Well, in fact, the next 2 gigs were exactly the same gigs as I did last year, so they should be fine. I will keep you posted. We will see. We will see. So here we are, Brooks's Bass Corner live chat number 30. The impromptu live chats, it's very hard to title them because they're not part of the scheduled live chat. How do I put it? The live chat videos that I book in. So if you do see those come up on your feed or your suggested videos, I will come back and title them properly. And there's 3 now. So they're the ones from Lincoln, one from Burton, and then the one from Dorking on Saturday. I will try and come up with some intelligent titles for them, but I know the one on Saturday is just called Backstage 3/12/22. But I'll try and give them some more informative titles and some decent descriptions. Leave that to me. It's on my list. I've got a big list over here of things I need to do for the channel between now and New Year. So I will get to that. And for anyone who's been watching the live chats and then has gone back and watched any of them for links or detail that I've said will be in the description box, it will be. I just haven't had the time. It's really hard doing all this stuff and it's just on your own. It's such a I could do, in fact, if anyone out there wants to buy me a present for Christmas, if you can come up with an extra 10 hours per day, I'd really appreciate it. I get so much more done. But it's just that run up to Christmas. There's so many things. I've had to help my mum buy a new mobile phone today. I wasn't expecting that. And it's taken a good hour out of my day. That's fine. I don't mind helping my mum. But it's just a job I wasn't really expecting. And I had everything plotted out today. And half of it hasn't happened, but we'll get there. I promise. It will all get there. And doing all the affiliate links for all the videos. It's fine doing affiliate links. You've got 10 videos. There's over 275 videos on this channel now. And trying to do the affiliates for every video that needs them. My goodness. You're going backwards and forwards between videos with links and this, and we'll get there. I promise. Once this week is out of the way, next week's a little more sort of composed with getting all that sort of stuff done. So it'll be all good. Let's just check what the football is. Just bear with me, guys and girls. Let's have a little look. No, still 1-0. It's Portugal. Switzerland haven't fought back yet. We will see. Ronaldo's on the bench. As far as I'm aware, he hasn't come on yet. We will see. So yes, this is live chat number 30. You got any bass questions? You got any amplifier questions, effects questions? You want to know about pedal boards? You want to talk about bass accessories? Maybe you've got presents coming your way in a couple of weeks for Christmas. Maybe you're looking to buy gifts for someone. There will be a range of YouTube Shorts videos going up. Might get one up this evening. That does sound really rude, actually. I'll rephrase that. I may put a YouTube Shorts Christmas bass gift video up this evening. If I don't, there will definitely be one going up tomorrow, if not two. Because I've got a backlog now. They were supposed to go up from December the 1st, and I just haven't been able to fit them into the upload schedule. So that will be happening. Stacey, oh golly, extra time would be a true gift. Yeah, wouldn't it just? Wouldn't it just? But the bass gift Christmas present, although I'm trying to frame it so that it's not all tinsel and Christmas lights, because bass gifts, you can give them throughout the year. So I don't want to isolate those videos into just being Christmas videos. They will hopefully garner an audience throughout the year. But I will be putting those up. And the bass string experiment, I know, on the channel we're up to 11. In reality, we're up to 20. Tomorrow will be 21. Thursday will be 22. Saturday will be 23. But they are there. It's just having the time to promote them via social media and getting the timing right. I can't put a video up when I'm about to fly out the door to a gig and not be here to promote it at the same time. Also, something that I have a real bee in my bonnet about, and so do a lot of other YouTube creators, is that, sorry, this flying thing's getting on my wick. Off you go, mate. Is that you try and promote via social media channels, and then they don't publish or promote your post sometimes until the next day or several days later. So you can have no accuracy. So I can put a post up on Brooks's Bass Corner on Facebook and no one sees it for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Same with Instagram. This thing is living a charmed life, I can tell you. Off you go. Same with Instagram. I can put posts up, like for today's live chat. Some people won't see it till Friday. And you can't even schedule them in, because even then they don't get delivered to people's feeds until that platform's algorithm decides to post it into people's feeds. But there we go. I'll stop moaning now. Right, Fanfret Steve, line 6G90 does operate on 2.4 gig, which is the same as mobile phone signal. Right, okay. I have had similar issues with the line 6 radio mics. Steve, you're a godsend, thank you. Right, that puts some light on it. Well, in a room with 650 people, pretty much all who would have had a mobile phone, chances are someone there's going to be the the culprit there isn't. I can't do anything about it now, but thank you. That's very useful to know. I appreciate that. Patrick, I have a Shure wireless setup which I use when there's a bigger stage. How do you get on with that? Let me know. Let me know. There's so many of these wireless systems. I mean, you'll see here in the rack. Yeah, just there. There's 2 Bayer Dynamics that I can't use anymore because they are, allegedly aren't legal. Or I'd have to pay license fees to be able to use them. They're there, they work. I just don't use them on a gigging situation anymore. Sadly, mate, I really wish you would do one. I'm really sorry, guys and girls. Right, settle down. You haven't paid to come in. Right. So, yes, live chat. Here we are. Live chat number 30. If you've not been on a live chat before, or at least a Brooks's Base Corner live chat, underneath this video is a live chat window. You can put in comments, questions, join in the conversation, whatever you wish. If you're on the desktop app, it's that way. And I always say it's a big white chat window. It might not be. You might have a black chat window because if you've gone for the dark mode, that's the way you like to look at YouTube. You might have the black coloured window. So any comments, any questions will go in there. I'll reply to them as soon as they pop up, like these fantastic people who tune in most weeks. And yeah. So if you've got any questions about any of the bases that I've shown over the past couple of weeks, I see Portugal just gone 2-0 up. Pepe's just scored. If there's anything you want to ask about, let me know. They're all lined up here. I think virtually all of them except one, two. Any more on 2? No, I think no, 3. 3 of the bases have not been featured in a video at all, and there's an acoustic bass. Actually, that's talking hogwash. 4, 5. Actually, I would say it's 5 or 6. 5 or 6 of the bases here have not been featured in a video that's here on the channel. So I need to rectify that very quickly, actually. And actually, the first one that's probably going to go up will be the Fender 70s FSR Precision, Fender special release. I actually started working on a video for that back in March, and then life was just so busy the first 6 months of this year, it just didn't happen. But I've got all the footage on my PC. The next one I think will have to be the GB Room 4-string that I bought for my birthday earlier this year, which has got all the lovely lights. So actually, I can't even give you a demo of the sound to light system because you've got to be plugged into an amp, and I haven't got anything ready to fly here. But anyway, let me get the bass and then we know what we're talking about. So it's this thing. So this is a GB Room 4. It's one of Bernie Goodfellow's old demo basses that was then cleaned up, made really nice, sorted out, and it's got the sound to light system. So you can have the LEDs on, but unless I'm in an amp and there's an audible bass signal, the sound to lights aren't going to work. They'll just go dead like that. So it actually has to be plugged in, and then it all kind of goes. But it's great playing bass. I used it, must have been for about 10 to 15 shows during the summer. That's before we started the bass string experiment, and I've had to stick with the Status Empathy. But this is an absolute cracker. And when I do a video, I'll do a demo of this, and then I'll put it up against one of the other Roomers that I've got. You're going to hear a huge difference because it's got single coils in. Although the pickups look like standard GB humbuckers, they've actually got single coils. These are just the humbucker housings, and it sounds phenomenal, which is why I bought it, of course. Patrick, yes, it works well, although it's always funny, if at sound check you walk miles away from the stage, what you play comes to you sometime later, so you've got a delay on it. Right, okay. I guess this is just the joys of wireless at our price point. Until you start spending thousands of pounds on wireless systems like the big touring bands do, where they get like several £1,000s worth of rack mount gear for each instrument. It's doing wireless on a budget, I guess, although the G90 certainly isn't a budget. I know when I saw the price tag, but there we go. So yeah, it's always been strange. I remember I got my first wireless system, I think back in 1990. It was one of the early Samsung systems. So at that time, Nady were the big sort of budget wireless system, certainly here in the UK. Yamaha did some as well. There was Trantec, I think. But I remember seeing the Yamaha wireless rack mount in Soho Soundhouse, which funnily enough was in Soho, here in London, probably around the same time. And really I probably should have bought that, but I didn't. I bought the Samsung, and it gave me no end of problems, and I kept hold of it for about 7 or 8 years. I lent it to someone and they knackered it, and by the time I then checked it and to use it again, it didn't matter. I couldn't go back to them and say they'd broken it, because it was too late. Too much time had passed, by which point I'd then migrated onto these Bayer units, and they were great, and it's still great. I just legally am not allowed to use them, although I'm sure you could probably use it on a gig, and the police aren't going to know it's you by the time you finish, packed down and gone. Actually, maybe that's an experiment for next year. Can I get the Bayer Dynamic wireless systems in use without getting caught? We'll see. Could be like an episode of Benny Hill, people chasing after me. But there we go. But yeah, so I had the Bayers, and then for years when I was in Cover Story, we didn't really ever use wireless systems. We were always fairly quite tight on a stage, so I had really no need for it. And then 2019, I knew I was going to be doing quite a bit of theatre work and tribute work and stuff, and I'd wanted the Line 6 set up for a while. There was never a competitive price, and the one time I did see it, there was a voucher I think went up on eBay over Christmas 2018, where you got like 50 quid off everything that was on eBay. And really I should have bought the system, but I was away from home and I didn't trust doing it on my phone, and reception where I wasn't good. And then a couple of months later, the G90 setup came up for sale on, I think it was Andertons down in Guildford, and they were doing, whether it was they were clearing it for new products or what, but I think that had like £50 to £75 off the price. So I thought, well, now's the time to go for it. So I did, and up until last Friday, it's been great, been problem free. But yeah, it does put that seed of doubt in your mind. So any gigs I do over this month, if I suddenly hear a dropout, I'll be like, oh, here we go. But now, fan for it, Steve, thank you for that. Operates at 2.4 gigahertz, I'm guessing that is. Yeah, that would make sense. But this is the thing, isn't it? A lot of these theatres and stuff, they've all got Wi-Fi and stuff going on. Everyone's got a phone, so who knows? Who knows? You can't find the person that's causing the problem, that's for sure. So you just got to soldier on. But this is why, like Saturday, I had a cable, a long cable ready if there was any problems. See, on the ABBA show, there are quite long breaks between the songs. There's a lot of chat with the audience, and the guy that runs this particular ABBA band has the gift of the gab a bit. So every song there's like a lead up and a bit of an intro, but it's all cool. It's all cool. You soldier on, you get through it, don't you? And yeah, it was just annoying last Friday. It just put you on edge. Certainly put me on edge through the second set. So I was like, well, is this going to drop out permanently? And at what point? Mid-song? I don't know. So I started to sound like the Norman Collier of bass. It was, for anyone who's not from the UK, Norman Collier is a comedian. Again, go on YouTube, put Norman Collier, Collier, nothing to do with Jacob Collier. And his act is basically him talking into a microphone and it dropping out. That's the gag. And that's what I was like on bass last week. But yeah, not to worry, we got there. And I have to say, I do like that G90 setup. It's very, it's simple to use. You literally just connect all the bits, plug it in, turn it on, and off you go. There's no, I've never really had to muck about with squelch and line levels and all that kind of thing. So, and I love the fact on the back of it, it's got so many sort of outputs. You can have a direct output, or you can have another output going to the tuner. This thing is starting to really get on my wick, mate. Go. You're lucky we don't have a cat. You'd be gone. But yeah, it's just very very easy to sort of stick that in a rack with a good preamp and leave all the cabling around the back so no one. Do you know what? This is really starting to drive me nuts, mate. Go. I get a last live chat of the series and we get a moth in here. Great. Yes. So there we are. So hey, what are you guys getting bass wise for Christmas? What have you asked your family, loved ones, friends to buy you? What's on the bass list this year? What's coming your way? Because there's going to be loads of new gear and stuff coming out in 2023, because the NAMM show will be hitting us in April. So I'm expecting after the COVID years for there to be a real blitz on new gear, new basses, new amps, new pedals. What are we going to see next year? Normally I'd be getting all the news because of the mag. We'd be getting all the press releases, but that's not the case any longer. So it's interesting to see what's coming out. I'm trying to keep tabs on all the manufacturers and distributors to see what's sort of coming through, what the new products are going to be. But it was a lot easier when we got the press releases. You'd get all the stuff before it got put up on websites. So we'll see. Just going to grab a quick drink. There we are. That's better. So yeah, if you've asked Santa for some new bass toys, let's hear what you're asking for. I'm interested. I want to know what people are getting. I generally don't get bass stuff. I've never have, either from family, friends, partner. I tend to do it all myself. I think people are too scared that if you ask them to get this stuff, they get the wrong stuff, and then that's not a good thing. Which is why I said when we did the Christmas gift guide a couple of years ago, if you're going to buy your partner strings, ask them what they use. Don't buy stuff they don't use. You end up with a load of strings you don't like. It's not good. Cam Voodoo, Aston Element microphone coming from me. I don't even know what that is. Explain to me, sir. What is the Aston Element microphone? What is it for? What are you going to do with it? What I asked for and get are two completely different things. I hear you. Yeah, that's yeah. I know where you're coming from, Patrick Sweeney. Yes, I do. Yeah, actually, we have an agreement in this house generally, unless there are definite things you want. We both kind of just buy what we want and then give it to the other one to give to us, because it's just easier that way. Or what I did a couple of years ago, there was a lot of stuff I wanted, like CDs, some DVDs I wanted. I had like a fairly specific list of things. I just did a big Amazon list and gave it to my family and said, sort it out between the lot of yous. And that seemed to work pretty well. Cam Voodoo, a condenser mic for your studio. Cool. Mainly for recording vocals. Nice one. Patrick Sweeney, one of the cleaning kits is a good idea though. Yes, it is. Depending what you want, And I know it gets really, I said this in the status video, it's very hard to know what to buy because it seems like every company that's got anything to do with guitars or bass now has cleaning products. So you need to kind of find the things that you like and that work. So yeah, so I keep banging on about these. You don't have to buy the full set. You can buy the individual bottles. You can also just buy products in 2s and 3s. Go on Amazon, you'll see all these different configurations. I think you can buy like those 2, those 3, and those 2 on their own. But as a set to start with, to get an idea of how all this works, this is really good. This was about 25 to 28 quid on Amazon in the summer. It's gone up now. I think it's about 34, 35. But these products, that carnauba wax, if you watch that Status Empathy cleaning video, this stuff is great. There's footage I've got of the singer, so basically the guy that runs Uncle Funk himself, the Funkle. He runs like a rock school for kids and sort of grown-ups and what have you. And he has like 2 or 3 basses that he uses for people to learn and sort of play on. One of them is a Squire Precision. It's great. It's really great. But it's been absolutely hammered. You will never have seen a fingerboard, that moth, I tell you. You will never have seen a fingerboard with as much grot on as that. And I've got footage of it. I did videos while I was cleaning it all up. I used that cream of carnauba wax on that body of that bass. It was covered. Well, the fingerboard was bad enough. The body was just as bad. Just horrible. So I got some simple green on it, cleaned as much of the sort of residual crap off it. It was all still a bit cloudy and not that great. I used some of that carnauba wax, and that finish, a black finish, and it had, I think over the upper body bout, like someone had obviously banged something and taken a big chunk of the paint away. It had gone through to the wood, but it had happened in such a way that it actually looked quite sort of road worn, a bit retro. And I was like, okay, I can work with that. So I got the carnauba wax on, put it all on, left it on a little longer than you normally meant to. And then I really went for it with the polishing cloth. And I tell you, that body came up, was gleaming. And when I gave the bass back to him, he said, "Are you sure this is the same bass?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I know, exactly. It came up really well, hasn't it?" And it was that carnauba wax. So in here you get, I tell you, you get the cream of carnauba wax, which is for gloss bodies. You get the Ultra Glide 65 cleaner and conditioner, which is that, the orange bottle. The Fingerboard O2 deep conditioner, which is the blue bottle. Then the Formula 65 polish and cleaner. I see I've gone the wrong way here. And then the Fingerboard O1 cleaner and prep, which is, right, so the O1's there. Fingerboard deep conditioner is the O2, the brown one. But anyway, and I think you also get, you do 2 microfiber cloths, microfine fret polishing cloth, and a complete step-by-step guitar care guide for 34 quid. It's a bargain. If you see it less than that, buy it. It's great. So I've got 2 or 3 of these, all paid for. I didn't get any of these for free. I bought them myself. But that carnauba wax is excellent. Then there's the Ernie Ball do a load of this stuff as well. And then there's also, like in the Dunlop range, there's in fact, wait for this. No, that's not a good idea. Stick that there. Just bear with me a moment, guys and girls. Right, so my laptop's here. I've got it resting on a box full of goodies from Dunlop. Well, I say from Dunlop, that I bought. Here we go. So some of this will be featuring in these Christmas gift guide videos. So there's a whole load of stuff here. Instrument polishing cloth. Ta-da. Then we've got a plush microfiber cloth. And there's also Music Nomad products as well, which you've seen on various videos. So we've got one of those as well. Now here's what I'm talking about with the spray. So this is the Platinum range. These are the blue bottles. So we've got a cleaner polish, which has wax in it. That's the Platinum 65. Is that the same thing? No, that was cleaner polish. This is the deep clean. This is where it all gets a bit vague. It's like, well, what does that do that that one doesn't? I can do a video and try and show you what happens, but how do I convey a deeper clean? I don't know. It's either smeary and dirty or it isn't. And then this is the Platinum 65 spray wax. Well, you tell me what the difference is between these three. I mean, they do smell lovely. And when you spray a guitar and wipe them over with this, it's great. So spray wax, deep clean, cleaner polish. So I would assume you'd use that to get the first layer of dirt off. You then use the deep clean to really give it some oomph. Then you put the wax on and polish it up. That would be my idea. Who knows? This is I do sympathise with all the players out there that look at all this stuff and go, I don't know where to start. And this is on top of the stuff that's in that box. I don't have the answers. I'm really sorry. This is another Carnauba wax. Oh, another one of the 01s. Is that an 02? Yeah, 01 and 02. This is all stuff I've bought on spec. So what we got here? Screwdriver, Dunlop System 65. There's a whole range of things. There's screwdriver, multi-tool. All of these will feature in videos along the way, I promise you. Uni wrench. So this is, you know, if you went to your partner and said, I need a load of these, so they literally just search for a Dunlop System 65. A Super Lube gel pen. I have a feeling that's for, don't laugh, this is for lubricating your nuts. All right? Strings, we're talking. Yes, nothing else, thank you. Yeah, bridge saddles, probably. It says, stop laughing at the back. Keep the move. I'll take my glasses off, I can read it easier. It's turning the comedy, Michael. Stop this. Keep the moving parts of your stringed instruments working smoothly with the Dunlop Super Lube gel pen. With its flexible spatula tip, you can easily apply Super Lube gel where you need it. I'm sure this is to do with guitars. From saddles and nuts, missus, to string trees and tremolo parts, and the thick gel will stay put. Should this be sold at Ann Summers? Right, Dunlop Super Lube gel is the safe lubricant for all your stringed instrument maintenance needs. I'm just reading what's on the packet. Check out our other System 65 workbench products. Well, there you go. So if you need to lube your nuts, that's what you need, apparently. Now, here's what I was saying. You can get some of those products that are in that big set in a smaller set. So that's got clean and conditioner, ultimate lemon oil, which isn't in that one, and the polish and cleaner. Bizarre, isn't it? Various configurations of the same thing. A deluxe bass string winder. A deluxe guitar string winder. What's the... Oh, I see. More space for your machine heads in there. You can see the hole there. What's that one's that bit. Yeah, very good. System 65 string cutter, which looks like a pair of pliers to me, but anyway, that's what they're there. You know what that's going to do. And then here, System 65 guitar neck cradle. One of those fellas. So you use this on your workbench and it just keeps the bass safe, just raises the neck up a bit, keeps it in one place while you do it. So yeah, so a box of goodies which will feature in the videos over the next days, weeks and months, I would suggest. So yeah, So happy hunting for all that stuff. I mean, I've been doing it with the affiliate links on these videos. And you type in Dunlop System 65 and the various configurations of all these products. And then you might get, oh, we'll sell you that packet of 3 things. And by the way, do you want the work mat and the cradle as well? Or do you just want the cloths, you know? Or maybe you want the string cutters. It's like, so yeah, but it's a good way that if your partner or your family or friends or whatever are looking to buy you presents for Christmas, just go and investigate. Well, by all means, I will put links in the description box. I will promise I will do these tomorrow once this video is uploaded with all these various things and items that have been in other videos as well. They will give you affiliate links which will take you through to Amazon.com, Amazon.co.uk and Thomann. You'll have to do the searching on the cheapest prices for each product. I can't do that. That's out of my remit. That take too many hours. However, if you're looking for quickness and links for these things, I've done that. They're already there in those affiliate links. If you choose to buy them, it doesn't mean you get a cheaper price, but it does give me an affiliate commission, which will then help the channel move along. And what it will also do is if you buy any products that are featured in the videos and there are affiliate links, and also I need to mention, I know there's only so many of you watching this, but I've also put links in to the various sections on Thomann. So there's like a section for basses, a section for amps, one for pedals, one for cleaning products, one for accessories. And for Amazon, both .co.uk and .com, I've got storefronts for both of them, which have, I think, the same departments, if you like. So if you click on that affiliate link, which just takes you through to the storefront, you'll then be presented with like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 12 different sections or departments. So again, basses are in one section, amps are in another, effects, cleaning products, accessories, albums, like Essential Bass album series, all the albums featured I've put in there. You can then click on any of those products if you choose to do so. If you're going to do that and you want to help me with the affiliate sales, that's fabulous, but please make sure those products aren't already in your basket. If they are, I get no affiliate commission whatsoever. I found this out over the past week and a bit from Amazon, where I was trying to get friends to test that this was all working as it should. They bought some things, not expensive. I think one guy bought some picks, Richard Evans, if he's out there. Stacey in North Carolina was buying, but actually she was buying some expensive gear to do podcasts with. And for various reasons, Amazon wouldn't fulfill the affiliate commission because they were already items that were in their trolleys, or they were links that were done through messaging and email rather than through direct click-throughs from the YouTube channel. You live and learn, but that's the way that kind of goes. So if you are thinking about these sort of cleaning products, maintenance kits, all of that sort of thing, go to any sort of video here on the channel where I've done workshop stuff, or check this video out tomorrow, and I will put links to all these kind of products in there, and you can then either go directly to that product, or if you want to do a bit of shopping, go on the store link for Amazon.com, Amazon.co.uk, or Thomann, and do your shopping that way. And any affiliate commission will then just help my channel go. And over time, something I said last week, over time, if I build up enough of these affiliate sales, it means I will get vouchers and discount codes to offer to you lovely people out there in YouTube land in the future. So maybe next Christmas, once I've racked up however many affiliates it takes, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to offer discounts on cleaning products, effect pedals, basses, amps, accessories, gig bags, pedal boards. That's the way it all works. It's all tied in, all this stuff. So if you do choose to help the channel with affiliate sales, fabulous, thank you. just going to catch up on the messages because I realise I've missed out a load here while I was nattering away. Patricini, yeah, Style by Stacey Ann. You're a Simple Green fan. Yes, and you know I am because of Dave's World of Fun Stuff. Anyone that hasn't watched Dave's World of Fun Stuff, Evening Dave, I don't think he watches this channel. He's too busy fixing guitars and basses. But there's a guy in Canada who used to work for film companies doing special effects and stuff. And a couple of years ago, he stopped doing that, I think. And he started up a channel where he fixes guitars and basses. He's a bass player and a guitar player. And he swore by this stuff called Simple Green. It's eco-friendly. There's no nasty chemicals in it. Great for cleaning crap off guitars and instruments and what have you. You can't buy it here in the UK, but I did find a UK distributor who doesn't make it easy to buy their products. But I bought a load of it in a super container of it rather than just one sort of spray pump for £1.50. I bought the stuff and you dilute it up yourself. It's great. Really good for cleaning gunk off guitars. Yeah, so you know Stacey Ann, I swear by that Simple Green stuff and it really does work. So if Dave's watching, which I doubt, but Dave, thank you for that heads up. That's a really good product. Thank you. So here we are, live chat number 30 here on the channel. It's Brooks's Bass Corner on a Tuesday evening. We're into the second half of Portugal against Switzerland. It's 2-0. I think they're just starting the second half. 2-0 to Portugal. Ramos and Pepe scored. Rest of the foot now after today, we've got 3 days off. There's no football, I think, till Saturday. Or is there Friday? No, I think it's 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday, I think. And if you're one of the poor, unfortunate musicians out there who's had their Saturday gig cancelled because of the football, you have my full sympathy. I've been in that position so many times over the years. When England, well, actually for many years, England didn't do bugger all, to be brutally honest, but in recent times there have been England games where especially at weekends, and it's impacted gigs. So I've been there. I'm feeling your pain. I found out this evening before we came online here on this live chat that my gig on Saturday, the venue has said, and it's a ticketed affair, the band will not be starting until extra time and penalties, if required, against France have completed, to which our band leader has said, we're going on at 9:30 regardless. So we'll see what happens. I'll report back. Yeah, I'll let you know how that all pans out. That could be an interesting evening on Saturday, because also we have to be finished by a certain time because of licensing. So this could be an interesting gig on Saturday. We will see. We will see. Now, if England can get it all wrapped up in the first 90 minutes, that'd be fabulous. But, we'll see how we go. So, Brooks's Bass Corner, live chat number 30, Tuesday evening. We've been going for an hour and nearly 10 minutes. If you've got any questions about bass guitars, bass amplifiers, bass speakers, bass effect pedals, bass accessories, any of this stuff, you want to ask anything about content here on the channel, if you've got any equipment that's giving you some grief and you've got December gigs coming up, put it in the live chat window. If I can't answer it, chances are one of these fine people might be able to help you. We've put a couple of issues to rights already this evening, so let's see if we can do a few more. Maybe you're thinking about buying a new bass for Christmas, or a new amp, or a new pedal, or maybe you're looking for some new strings. Maybe you're not happy with your string choices. Your bass just doesn't sound how you want it to sound, and Lord knows I've had a few like that in my time. Maybe a change of circuit if it's active. Maybe it's passive and it could do with a circuit. Maybe change the pickups, maybe change some of the hardware. Change your brand of strings, your gauge of strings, maybe even change the material of strings. What am I talking about? Maybe if you use nickels and you want steels, or steels are going to give you a brighter response, there's a thing. Maybe you use steels and you need a softer attack. Maybe move over to nickels. Maybe try some half wounds, flat wounds. If you've got an acoustic bass using bronze strings, try some half wounds. They're great. I've done all these things, so I know. I used to swear by bronze strings on an acoustic bass, and then you think, it's just hyper bright. Put some steel half wounds on, different guitar entirely, and it worked for me. But that doesn't mean every acoustic bass is going to benefit from steel half wounds. But there we go. It's a lot of this stuff is experimentation. Buy some different products, try them. You'll soon find out what works and what doesn't. So let's see what we've got coming up on the channel. So we're still in the throes of this YouTube Shorts thing. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically YouTube Shorts are going to be monetized, I think from February, could be end of January, but I think it's February, which is great for us creators, because a lot of us kind of steered away from it for a while because it was, and it still is, directly competing with TikTok and Instagram Reels, but there was no financial benefit from doing it. Lots of creators here on YouTube are creating shorts, getting huge viewing numbers. Apparently something like over 3 billion YouTube shorts viewed every day. And as of late January, February, we're going to get monetized for it, which is great. So I've been building up the stock. I see Portugal just scored another one. Ramos has just scored. I don't think Switzerland are going through unless they suddenly get a bit of a move on, a bit of a shift on here. Yeah, so YouTube Shorts. So I've been putting a YouTube short video up every day for the nearly 2 months, so that I've got plenty of that content there when it suddenly gets the big push in late January, early February. Loads of long form content coming your way. It's all sat there ready to go, but unfortunately I've just been so busy over the past 6-7 weeks with gigs, life, doing YouTube Shorts, trying to keep everything going, doing all the social media. It's been very hard to find the time to promote a long form video, because it does take, basically when we put up or for me anyway, as a channel that's still trying to build, I kind of have to make sure I have over an hour before a video goes live and another hour, maybe an hour and a half afterwards. So I have to factor in between 2 and 3 hours and block them off, which was easy during lockdown because there was nothing else to do. But it's a little harder when you've got regular gigs and stuff. And also in the YouTube analytics, as I'm watching when my viewers are on YouTube, that graph, basically it's a block graph. So you've got every day and every hour is blocked. When I'm seeing my viewers, you lovely people that watch the videos out there, it's changing on a daily basis. So I might plan to put a video up at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. When it comes around to a day or two before that, suddenly it all changes and it says there's not going to be anyone. But they'll all be there at 7 o'clock on Saturday. That's no use to me because I'm out on a gig and I can't devote 2 to 3 hours on a mobile phone launching a video. It just doesn't work. So just bear with me on the long form content. It's all there. I just got to make sure I've got the time to promote it properly when I decide to put it up. So hopefully, well, I'm hoping the next installments of the bass string experiment will go up this week. Maybe even, no, it won't be tonight because I've got to do those shorts first. Could possibly go up tomorrow, but we will see how the next couple of days pan out. Worst case scenario will be next week when things become a little more sedate, and the shorts will carry on. And I've got a piece of A3 paper which I can see on my desk behind this camera, which has literally got everything that I want to do with YouTube over the next couple of months on there. So there's plenty coming your way. Cam Voodoo, check your Facebook Messenger for a blast from your past. I found that issue of Bass Guitar magazine that has your review of my MTD in it. Took a pic for you. Thank you very much. Well, there we go. I was thinking about that the other day because I saw Base Direct were promoting the what are they called? Is it Super K? I can't remember. It's the MTD Super 5. Help me, Cam Voodoo. Help me. What's that? What is that base called? It's the. Is it the Super 5? Okay, you're KZ5. Was it called the KZ5 before the Super thing, or was it called the KZ5 after? I can't remember. MTDs confuse me because they change their model names quite commonly, quite often. But anyway, a killer bass, absolutely killer. Really surprised me because I played some MTD cheaper range ones before and reviewed them. They were okay. There weren't nothing that would set the world alight, but that one that we're talking about was absolutely off the scale. It was about £950 at the time. I think it was 2016. You'll know because you've scanned it. Yeah, I think I did that review in 2016. And yeah, blew my socks off. I was really impressed with that. I even contemplated buying one at one point, but clearly you did. Well, I hope it's serving you well, sir. Hope it's serving you well. And actually, talking about Bass Guitar Magazine output, I'm going to create on Facebook, on Brooks's Bass Corner on Facebook, for years on my own private profile. I would put up my reviews once the copyright period had moved along. So basically every month as a new issue came out, I could put the old reviews, interviews, features, columns up. I'm going to do that. I'm going to create a vault, basically a photo album for all the stuff that I wrote. And it will be there for people to sort of delve into and have a look at. I won't blitz it and put it all up in one hit. I'll do like a post a day. Could take a couple of years, but it'll be there, and people can sort of look into it and ask questions of it and refer to it. It's all there, you know. And I own the copyright, so I can do what I like with it. Andrew Goucher, Patrick Sweeney. Yes, Andrew Goucher. Do you know what? I was there at the bass show. It was 2018 he was there. Didn't get a chance to speak to the guy. We were so busy that year. And also, I think that was the year we had the snow. He's the man on the MTD basses. Yes, he is. 6-string, although I don't know the model. Yeah, there's a review of the Andrew Goucher. I think it's the 5-string signature bass. One of the first videos I did here on the channel. Outstanding. Expensive, but outstanding. And you see where the money goes. You can hear where the money goes. It's fabulous. Very impressive guitars. But yeah. Hope you're all enjoying the sort of semi-Christmas top here. Pac-Man reference, clearly. I was contemplating wearing what I've got on underneath, but it would have been a little too cold. So you won't find these in the shops. So it's a Queen Christmas t-shirt from many moons ago. And I thought I'd dig that out. That's going to be on a couple of videos soon. I think you can buy the Pac-Man top fairly easily. I can put an affiliate link if anyone wants one. It's lovely and warm, I have to say. Very snugly and comfortable. Cut nicely, I have to say. Cam Voodoo, I put some Aguilar Super single pickup. Oh, I bet that sounds good. So did you take the humbuckers out? Because basically that was, it wasn't copying, but it was the same thing as the Warwick double buck. So a pair of humbuckers right next to each other. A bit like the way the Super Quads was called the Super 8. So basically you had 8 coils in one big unit. And that's what that MTD was like. So did you take those out and put super singles in? I'll wait for the reply. Yes, I didn't like the stock pickups. Too bright. Wow. Okay. Yeah, the MTDs tend to be on the bright side, don't they? Even the cheaper ones I found sort of quite lively. But usually it's the pickups and the electronics that are going to make the big difference there. So hang on a minute. So you had humbuckers. which you thought were too bright, and you've put single coils in, that would make it brighter. In theory, that's what should happen. So you telling me it's less bright with single coils in? I'm waiting for the reply. See, this is the joys of live chat. Two-way conversation here. Well, clearly, I mean, I hope you're really happy with that, but you could. Oh, okay. So have you got big gaps, or did you buy super singles in the larger housing? I dread to think of a really ugly sort of cavity cut there. Because if you were finding it too bright, you probably could have. You could have changed the brightness with your string choice, but I don't know. The super singles are actually soap bar style. Right, there we go. Okay, so they fit in. Great. Okay. So you haven't got like a big gap, a big route. No, mate, that's your bass. That works for you. That's great. Just humbuck. It's the same principle as what goes on with these super quads. So you've got split coil, single coil, humbuckers. And when you listen to how the three sound, I mean, it's fairly easy to do. Get precision, a jazz and a stingray, and hear how those pickups sound. With this is a perfect example of being able to do that. So you can have a split coil like a P bass, you can have a single coil like a jazz, and you can have a humbucker at the same unit. The tonal differences are quite immense, you know. So if you want a really middly, throaty, thumpy sound, then you're going to go for a split coil. If you want a bright, jangly, cutting, vibrant sound, you're going to go for the single coil. And if you kind of want a mixture of both with a really fat bottom end, you're going to go for a humbucker. Visog, evening. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in, sir. More than welcome, as always, as you know. Shame this chat won't let me put a link up for you to see. I know, I keep saying this. If YouTube could just allow photos and stuff to be added on a live chat, it'd be great. You can always send me a picture. And let's think, what's the best way of doing this? You can always find my personal page, mate. It's fine. I'll know who you are. It's just the messenger for Brooks's Bass Corner on Facebook is part of the Meta business thing. It's horrendous to navigate. But if you want to send it to me on normal messenger, just find me on Facebook. We can, or well, you don't even have to add me on Facebook. Just do it on Messenger. Just find me, Mike Brooks, and we can carry on that conversation. That's all good. Patrick, talking of Aguilar pickups, this is good. This is the gold dust. Keep it going, boys and girls. I put a pair of Aguilar 70s in a Squire Jazz. And what were your findings, sir? Because I highly regard the 10-minute demo video that Dave Boonshoff did with Jonathan Maron. Oh, it's got to go back to 2015, 2016. So basically they had all 4 sets of 4-string jazz pickups that Aguilar made at that time. So you had 60s, 70s. I'm trying to remember, going brain dead. 60s, 70s, hum cancelling, and super hots, I think they were called. And I love that video because basically it's the same guy, the same bass, the same amps, and they literally play the same passages with each set of pickups in that bass. And from that, you can pick, you can hear what the differences are, which ones work for you. Now, I had a set of Aguilar 60s, which went into a 62 reissue, and I loved it. But my choice, if I went down that route again, would be the hum cancelling ones, because they sounded the nuts. They really did. And I wish I'd had those and put those instead of the 60s, but I was trying to keep that sort of 60s kind of sweet sounding, kind of that sort of, I'm trying to describe it, sort of 60s sweet jazz tone, as opposed to the aggressive, funkier sound that you get on a set of 70s pickups based on the positioning and the windings. But yeah, I do like that video. Anyone that's watching, or maybe you're watching after the event, and I haven't addressed those people. So if you're watching this video and you, well, after the event, after we finish the live chat, you can still get involved by the comments underneath. I would advise anyone who's thinking of buying some replacement jazz pickups to watch that Aguilar video. It's fabulous. And I will put a link in the description box below. Note to self, Michael, put in the link to the Aguilar pickup video. Just sent you a pic of my MTD on Messenger, Mike. Lovely, great stuff. Yeah, they are great. They are great. And I got Aguilar pickups in a couple of my bases. So the Stingray here, there's an Aguilar Stingray pickup there. My Precision that I do the bulk of the Queen tribute shows with has got a I can't remember what the model is. It's the Aguilar 60s P, and that's in there. Sounds great. Can't knock it. Can't knock it. Yeah, so where were we? Yeah, so if you want to talk Aguilar pickups, let's do that, or we can talk about MTDs, or we can talk about any bass gear we like, because that's what this live chat is all about. So if you're just joining us, welcome, good evening, I hope you're well, hope you're safe wherever you are in the world. This is the last of the 10 booked in live chats here on Brooks's Bass Corner. Hopefully we'll do a load more in the new year. There will be some impromptu live chats over the next month. That's not to say there won't be any live chats until January. There will. There'll be when I'm on gigs. So whether we're at sound check or backstage or just hanging out, killing time, keep your eyes posted. If you want to know when those live chats are going to happen, because they really are impromptu, it's literally when I press go live on my phone. I suggest you press the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then you'll get notified. If I go live, you'll get a message pops up saying Mike Brooks's Bass Corner is now live. You can see those live chats when we're out there doing the work, earning the beans. I saw a message pop up there. Patrick, just said, Can Voodoo, I love the slap sound that Sadowski short you posted. That was today. Yeah, I did that review. Oh, now that was early days of the channel, so that would have been October 2020. That was one of the first Metro line basses that Sadowski did through the Warwick factory in Germany, and the review videos on the channel, it's always had good viewing figures. I just thought today, do you know what? That is a really good sounding bass. I need to do the short. I need to extract some of the footage out of that video and create a short from it. Yeah, it sounded good, didn't it? I really like that bass. Loads of people slagged it off when I released the video. Oh, you know, how can they charge that amount of money? It's got a bit of the finish missing. Yeah, and the place that was selling it, Bass Direct, modified the price to accommodate that. People get so hung up on these things. Okay, yes, it was a brand new bass and it had a bit of finish missing. And if you like the bass that much and you're going to gig with it for 30 years, it doesn't matter. Just get on and play the bloody thing. Patrick, yes, loved them. Gave it more of that 70s funk tone. A lot of that 70s funk tone comes from the fact the bridge pickup is positioned a couple of millimeters closer to the bridge. That's why loads of people have 60s jazzes and they say, I can't make it sound like 70s jazz. Well, you can't. The pickup's in the wrong place. It needs to go further back towards the bridge. Sean P. Bass, hi from North Yorkshire. Hope you're doing well. What's the latest on your Stingray purchase, sir? Sean and I were conversing the other day, and he's been looking at some Stingrays. Yeah, let me know. I think you were looking at one on eBay, weren't you? The red one. Candy apple red. White scratch plate, I think. It looked very nice, I have to say. And did you get the link I sent you to the Sterling that's pre-loved at Guitar? There was a vintage white one with a tortoiseshell plate. Tell me, Sean, did you get that link? So for anyone that's wondering, there's a really nice Sterling by Music Man Stingray for about 799 quid, I think, at Guitar here in the UK. It looks lovely. And I've already missed out on a bass this week that I was considering, a G&L LB100 that was at Bass Direct. Sat there for weeks. I didn't pull the trigger, decided to pull the trigger, and it went. Typical, but there we go. Come on, Sean. What's your reply? Anyone else out there looking at some new basses? Come on, let's talk bass chat here. What's pushing people's buttons? What are we all looking at on the various bass sale sites that people are thinking, oh, I really need that? It's gas. It's that time of year. There's plenty of it. Actually, while I'm waiting for you guys to comment, let's just have a look, see what the old football score is. Oh, well, it's all gone loopy, hasn't it? It's 5-1 to Portugal. Crazy stuff. What's going on there? So this guy, Gonzalo Ramos, has got 3. Pepe's got 1, and Guerrero has got 1. Kanji has scored for Switzerland. 5-1. I don't even know if Cristiano Ronaldo has come on. Let's just have a little look here. Has he come on yet? I'm not going to scroll and go looking for a mention, but okay. We'll check that out later. Here we go, Sean. Right, a bit of a different question. Battery-powered bass amps for practice without any electric. Do you know what? I've had 4 or 5 people ask me, just generally, not when I'm on live chats, about battery-powered amps lately. You're going to be looking at combos, generally. It's what buskers use on the tube and at stations. I have no experience of them, I'm afraid. You're going to have to, Google is going to have to be your friend on this one. I would suggest, I think Roland or Boss maybe did one, but there are obviously those items out there, but I've never needed one. I've never looked at buying one, so I'm probably not the guy to help you here, Sean. Sorry. Normally I know all these things, but no, I've never done any busking or any of that, so never had to go down that route. Can Voodoo, I've always been tempted to get a Stingray, very good, but I've been put off because my Roland VB99 does a very good impression of one. Well, there you go. That was the reason why I was looking at the V-Bass, was I thought, right, well, that will give me a precision sound, a jazz sound, a Stingray sound, loads of other. Yeah, we've had this discussion about your V-Bass. I was thinking about one myself back in 2001, 2002. And in the end, I didn't go down that route. I just bought a load of basses instead. Vissol, tried a Dingwall mic. Yeah, how's this grab you? I've tried loads of Dingwalls, mate. I've reviewed many. And I've got my own NG2. Ferrari yellow. How's that grab you? What would you like to ask me, Vissog, about Dingwalls? See if I can help you. I talk to Sheldon Dingwall quite regularly. So if you've got a particular question about Dingwalls, if I don't know the answer, I know the man that does. Sean, got your links and stuff also. Cool. Still waiting about the Candy Music Man. Okay. Yeah, do you know what? I remember when those Sterlings first came out, I was really taken aback by how good they were. So I think if you don't get that candy red one, that white one will probably do just as good a job. And if you didn't like the pickup or the circuit for any reason, there's no reason you can't go down the same road as I did. So I changed it for an Aguilar pickup, which you can see there. And that's got the John East Music Man replacement circuitry in it. And it sounds great. You want to hear how it sounds? Check out the video on the channel for that bass. And I'll put a link in the description box tomorrow as well. Cam Voodoo, that's frigging stunning. What, this? Yeah, it is, isn't it? There's something about yellow basses. They just look great when they're done right. Ferrari yellows, you know, it's actually on the soundbite demos that I've done on the channel. It looks orange, but it isn't. It's yellow. Well, as you're seeing, I bet when you watch this back, it'll look orange again. It's part of it is that chamfer there, so it's kind of looks like yeah, I could see on my camera that looks more orange than yellow, but it is yellow. I will vouch for that. And it plays great and it sounds great. Best low Bs going are Dingwalls, and I'll argue anyone about that. Visog, ooh, lovely Dingwall. Like the multi-scale. Yes, I do. Never had a problem with it. Is it heavy? No, not at all. Not compared to an Alembic or a Mike Dirnt Fender. Or a couple of my Precisions are like much heavier than this. And anyone that has a problem with the fan frets, and I've always said it, when you're playing a bass, you don't look at it there, do you? You know, so if the frets are fanned out, you're always going to play a bass looking at the fingerboard edge. You're not looking at it from there. So when you're looking at the fingerboard edge, it's the same as playing any other bass. You're going to fret it as close to the fret as you can to get the correct intonation. The only thing with the fan frets is it fits the way physiologically that your hand develops. So, you know, you don't have to start breaking your wrist and weird angles of fingering. There's none of that. I always, any fan fret bass, I'm just looking at the edge where the fret ends are and the marks. And I just play as I would normally play. Never had an issue with it. I found, where are we? Cam Voodoo, I found getting used to a fan fret very easy on my Strandberg. Exactly, thank you. Well done. Well said, sir. I think I missed a message there. There might have been an extra one. Just bear with me, guys. Did I get everything? No, I think I got everything. Oh, cool. Yeah. Love Dingwalls. I think I must have reviewed probably 6 or 7 over the years. I think my first one would have been, I think it was a 6-string. I think it was semi-acoustic. A semi-acoustic 6-string would have been about 2008, maybe 2009. In fact, I think it was in the issue when Nick Wells took over as editor. So I would have written it at the end of 2008, and it was there just waiting to be published. And I've played loads of them over the years. Played many of them at Bass Direct, UK distributor. So sat there and plonked myself on a stool and played many. I nearly bought a whale pool blue aqua with a wengy neck. I think it was an AB1. I think I nearly bought that at the end of 2016, and I played it. It was in the store at Bass Direct, but I was like, yeah, I want to buy this. I then got told someone else had already put a deposit on it that day, so I'd missed out on it. But I didn't do too badly. I bought this instead. So yeah. Let's have a look. Visog, the hollow bodies are expensive. Look good though. Yeah. So in 2009, they hadn't come out with the well, I don't think a combustion had come out. Maybe it had. I hadn't done all my Dingwall homework at that point. But it was great. I remember being really impressed with it. I thought it played great, looked great, sounded the nuts. It was really good. But these are, you know, the NG2s, NG3s, the combustions, great basses. They really are. What bit of gear have you lusted after, then finally bought only to hate it? Whoa, now there's a thing. Now, let's think. I wouldn't say I lusted after it. And I did mention this a couple of weeks ago, but I did buy a JD and I absolutely hated everything about it. I could not get that bass neck to settle down. I couldn't. So this was 1998. I bought a second-hand JD from Loot. It was very reasonably priced, 275 quid. And I know a few of you now keel over at that. And basically the guy I bought it from had taken the circuit out and put it into a bass that he had made, and then just cobbled together this cheap, crappy little preamp and put it in the JD. Well, I didn't know that buying it. And in his house, the JD sounded okay. It didn't sound amazing, but I thought, well, I'll get it home, clean it up, some new strings, set it all up, it'd be great. Then when I got home and sort of spent some time with it, I thought, this really doesn't play great. It needs some real tweaking. I didn't have all the Allen keys, and the JD truss rod needed like a particular spanner with a grip on the end, and then it would go into the socket. So I had to get one from JD. And bear in mind that time I didn't have internet. Internet was around, but I didn't have a internet equipped PC at home. So I had to ring them up. And what I should have done really was said to them, can I buy a circuit off you? Or sent the bass back and let them do it. But also the fingerboard, the ebony fingerboard had started to split. So it had a couple of points on the neck where the timbers were pulling apart, which is what a lot of ebony can tend to do over time. It'll just try and force itself apart and you suddenly get splits. And these were quite big splits. And if you turn the bass round with lacquered through neck, you could see all sorts of cracks in the varnish. So over time, I tried different gauge strings, tried some 3090s as you would, and tried some 4000s, went up to 4505. I could not get that neck to settle ever. It was the worst banana neck I've ever had on a bass, and I could get it just right, come back to it half an hour later and it had changed and there'd be buzzes all over it. You'd set it all up again, get it right, it just wouldn't settle at all. And it completely put me off ever owning a JD again. Now I know every brand can have a dog now and again, but this thing was just not for me. I used it on a couple of gigs with my covers band, and it was just a real beast to wear and play. And I was using a Stingray at the time. Stingray did everything I needed it to do, so I sold the JD on. But it was just such a shame. It was one of those basses you thought, I really want to have a nice JD and enjoy it and enjoy the sounds they're capable of. And it was crap. It was really crap. And I'm really sorry, John. You know, I do like JDs and I admire them from afar, but that one I had was just the worst. And there was one other bass, certainly not something I lusted after, but when I came back from my first Israel gig, I had been in a Green Day tribute a couple of years previous. And just before I went to Israel, I'd done a couple of deps for another Green Day tribute. And it sounded like it was going to be quite a lot of dep work with them. So I've got the Mike Dirnt Precision up there. And I decided to buy one of the cheap Squire Mike Dirnt Precisions. And there was one went up on eBay. It wasn't much. I think it was about 100 quid, 110 quid, something like that. And I bought it. And I just stuck it in the rack. I sort of gave it a tweak on the truss rod, got it right, stuck it in the rack, and then never used it. Never used it on a single gig because I didn't get any more Green Day deps. And when I came to sell it, I think there had always been a problem with the truss rod. And basically, when I got it, it was close to the end point. You couldn't turn it anymore. So when I got it, I slackened it off a little because I thought that's way too tight. By the time I came to sell it a couple of years ago, it was horrendous. I mean, it was almost like the truss rod had given up and now the neck was just doing whatever it wanted, and I sold it on. But it was not in a good way. And I just thought, I don't need another bass like the JD where you spend more time setting the thing up to play it than actually playing it. So it wasn't like I lusted after that, but it had to go. Let's see, where are we? What bit get right? Mark King seems to have gone back to his JDs recently. Yeah, did that last year. Part of that was a nostalgia thing, so I've heard him quote. I think also there might be something to do with the whole thing to do with Rob Green's Status going into semi-retirement, maybe. And also the fact that he'd used Status for 10, 15, well, 20 years since the King basses came out. I'm not talking about his period of using Status during the first sort of run of 1142, but since the King bass came out, so that would have been 2001. So if you think about it, yeah, he used them up until the pandemic. I think also there's the thought that JD, in terms of business, would benefit from Mark using them. And clearly, if you read any of the bass forums, lots of people have been ordering JDs from new. So, you know, it's a nice little cash injection for JD. Yeah, Sean P. bass. I bought a Jazz Elite secondhand, a year old. Couldn't get on with it at all. Sold it. You're not the first person I've heard that from. It does seem to be something with Fender that you just can't assume, especially with the newer ranges in recent years. You cannot assume they're all going to play the same. I've always said that about any bass. So yeah, I have a Made in Mexico P bass, LPB. Don't know what that means. Lake Placid Blue, maybe, which I love. 300 quid, exactly. My Mike Dirnt is a Mexican from 2004, one of the original ones. Plays great. Plays absolutely great. My Fender FSR 70s Precision is outstanding. Mexican. Amazing. Amazing bass. Patrick, I think JD made him exact replicas for the last tour. He made him one replica. The White Star Child is the original bass, bought back from Morgan Roussel, who runs level42.com for Mark and the band. Morgan bought that bass from the Bass Centre in 1998. It was part of the bass sell-off that happened at the Bass Centre in 1997. Part of that bass sell-off was Mark's old 4-string Stingray, which I bought. He ordered it in 89 and it was used on Guaranteed, Forever Now and Trash. But it was part of the big clear out from 97 when he just sold loads of basses and gear off. It sat in a glass case above, well, it was above the doorways that led through to Chris Ward's repair room and the vintage room that had glass patio doors for you to try vintage bass gear. Sat there for over a year, and then Morgan bought it, and I think he bought it for that's $6,000. I think maybe it was more, but clearly Mark knew he had it and bought it back off him. So he has two red JDs. So one is number 3, and the other one is the replica that's been made. And for all I know, they could still be building replicas. He might be having some more. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, there we go. Brooks's Bass Corner, live chat number 30. Here we go. Last of the Tuesday evenings before Christmas. Thank you very much. We get so engrossed in the chat. I don't do this often enough, but thank you very much to all you guys that watch this. All the people watching the videos, liking the videos, commenting, donating via super chat and super thanks, all the replies to community posts, all the social media interaction. Without you guys, I'm just producing videos for no one. The fact that you guys do seem to like what I produce, I really do appreciate it. I don't know what other words to use, but I'm glad you enjoy the stuff I come up with, and I hope some of it is of use to you guys. You know, I've been around the block. I've done this a long time. And if I can impart any of the nuggets of wisdom that I've encountered over the years, then I'm doing my job. I tried to contribute as much as I possibly could in terms of bass knowledge when I was doing the writing for the mags. We had many a brainstorming session. There was a lot more that we could have done, but we didn't. And who knows, maybe something might happen further down the line, but at the moment, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. So if I can put really useful information and educate people on anything bass wise that I think I might know something about, that's the whole purpose of the live chats and the content. And it'd be very easy for me to do a bass channel and just do play-alongs, but A, I won't earn anything from it, and B, there's 1,000,001 bass players out there doing play-along video channels, and I just don't think you need another as good as I could do it. I just don't think it would serve much of a purpose. I get great viewing figures, but that's not really going to push anything along, is it? And why would you want to sit and watch me play level 42 covers or any, Queen covers? Because unless I'm teaching you how to play the song, a 4.5-minute video on me playing along to an audio track, for me, doesn't seem very worthwhile. Someone said, can you show us how to play such and such a song, and I could turn it into a 15-20 minute video, then I'd contemplate doing that. But to be honest, most people can do everything just by watching YouTube videos and working it out from there. I realise just kick the stand that the camera's on. Sorry about that. Let's get you back in focus, guys. Here we go. Note to Michael: cut that segment of the video out when you come to edit it. Yeah, I just saw it happen. Yeah. So that's my view on that. Maybe you guys would like to see me do play along videos. I can do it, but it's just it takes up lots of time. I think I've got far better content to offer than video play alongs. And again, a lot of it could end up with, well, it's something I've tried to avoid, as you know, copyright strikes and copyright claims. Copyright claims aren't so bad. It just means you don't earn anything, or you've got to share the AdSense revenue. But copyright strikes is a dangerous game. You get 3 of those, you're gone. And I don't want any of those. I want to keep this channel going for 25 years if I can. So that's why I tend, and I'm sure some of you wonder, why doesn't he, like on the Essential Bass album series, why don't you include any of the music? Because I'd have to buy licensing agreements, and I just don't have the funds to do that. And actually, this is a good topic of conversation, because I have had a few of these, like some of the bass string experiment videos where I've included live footage. I've had a few people say, well, why haven't you got the audio on there? Because if we're playing a song that someone else wrote and owns the copyright to, that could result in a copyright strike. And I have no way of knowing if a particular song is going to invoke a copyright strike. Okay, I could go and search on YouTube and find other people or bands playing those songs, and have they got copyright claims or strikes against them? But I'm trying to steer well clear of anything that's copyrightable, and try and keep my nose clean on that front. I just because the rules on YouTube change all the time, and there's nothing to say that further down the line any video using copyrighted material could either have the videos pulled, in which case why waste your time producing them in the first place, or you could end up with copyright strike. What if you had 3 videos that featured Eagles songs? Don Henley isn't going to accept that, and your videos will get pulled, and he probably will put a copyright strike against each one. So I just don't go down that road. God, let's be fair, it'd be easy for me to fill a channel with Queen play-alongs, ABBA play-alongs, disco play-alongs, 500 covers tunes. I could fill this channel full of that. But again, I just think too many other people do it already. And I'd rather spend my time doing stuff that is of worth to some of you guys out there, which generally seems to be the messages I get. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'd rather demo gear and let you hear stuff. And actually, that was the original premise for this channel. I didn't intend doing a YouTube channel until we were in lockdown. I thought about doing one years ago and never really kind of found the angle that I thought I could go at. And certainly Scott's Bass Lessons has pretty much taken over as the lead bass channel here on YouTube. I can't compete on that level. Look at my subscriber numbers. I am not anywhere remotely close to that guy. And Scott's great, met him a couple of times, but I'm not an educational channel in that sense. I don't have any formal bass tuition. I've never done that. I'm self-taught. So Cam Voodoo, my channel was a play-along channel when YouTube started, but constant strikes stops me doing. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. There are a lot of channels out there that at some point in the future could find they've gone along very nicely for years, and then the whole channel could get shut down because of copyright rules. And you can't keep, there's a lot of people that rely on fair use. That isn't going to be a thing forever. And if you stay on top of YouTube progression and the creator stuff that's in the studio, and you see the regular videos that come out from YouTube, you won't be able to claim fair use forever. And there was a big thing over in America during lockdown where the tech companies and the social media companies were hauled into the Supreme Court to discuss copyright law on social media platforms. And it's still not ratified. I think it may still be going on, but it's not good. Portugal have won its final whistle, full time, guys and girls. Portugal have won 6-1 against Switzerland. So Portugal are playing Morocco. Yeah. There we go. Football is over for the evening. I can close that window. So if you had a bet on Switzerland going through, you've just lost. I'm sorry. Yeah. So there we go. So that's my little talk about copyright and sort of fair use and all that kind of thing. Yeah. I think there are a lot of channels who have content going up for years and years and years and years. At some point, they're going to get a little rap on the knuckles. But if you go down that route, that's your choice. I chose not to very early on. I did my research before this channel started. And I thought, right from the very start, don't even skirt towards using copyright stuff unless you're going to pay for licensing. And at the moment, this channel doesn't earn enough to justify it. Maybe it will if subscriber numbers start to go up and the whole channel takes off, but at the moment I can't. Sean P Base, thanks for tonight. That's all right. That's what we're here for, mate. That's what we're here for. I'm waiting to see what precision, what stingray you buy. So I'm hoping before Christmas you've plumped for one of the two. But having said that, there's always stingrays going up for sale. And I would not be surprised over the coming months with Christmas and credit card bills in January and self-employed tax bills coming in January. I think it's going to be a lot of gear going up for sale over the next month or two. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff going up for sale. People are not going to be in a good place here in the UK with all the cost of living crisis and fuel bills. You know, it's freezing cold here today. The heating's on. Has to be. Your house will not benefit from you not turning the heating on. You'll end up with damp and mould and plaster falling off the walls. Don't do it. We're not talking about horses. We're talking about houses. Idiot. But yeah. So if you've got any questions you'd like to ask about this fine beast or any of the others that are in the rack, there's plenty here. Feel free. That's what the live chat window's for. We've done nearly 2 hours, guys. I'm quite happy to carry on as long as you guys want me to. If you've all got to shoot off and do other things, then that's cool as well. No problem. So this is the last of the scheduled live chats. There will be impromptu live chats going on. Well, potentially from tomorrow. I've already tried racking my brains to work out when I could do one tomorrow, because we get into the theatre at 4 o'clock. Sound check is fairly rapid and quick. We literally then go from sound check to having dinner to then getting ready to then doing the show. So there might not be an impromptu live chat. We might have to wait till Saturday, but we will see. Thursday is, although it's a different theatre with ABBA, it's a similar process. Get in at around 4 o'clock, sound check, food, get ready, on. Finish the gig, pack up, go. But we'll see. We will see. And I'm getting to visit one of my favourite places on Thursday, which is Rocket in Poole, where I buy all my nice Prince t-shirts and apparel and bits and pieces. You'll see the mugs dotted around. Actually, they're in hiding, aren't they? So all of this stuff. Where are we? I'm looking at the laptop. It's not on there, Mike. It's on here. So you get all of this stuff at Rocket in Poole. Lovely people. They also do loads of merchandise for other bands as well. So I'm going down there to do a little bit of a shop, you know, as you do. And I'm in the vicinity. I'm only a couple of miles away where we're playing. So I thought I'd go in. You must rack up some miles. Yes, sir. I wouldn't like to even begin to try and calculate it. I was thinking the other day how many thousands of miles must I have done? And I was thinking of the cars I've had, and generally in a year I average about 15,000. So aside from COVID year, and I've owned a car since January 98. So where are we? It's 10, 20, 24 years. Say it's 23 years if you take COVID year out. So 23 years at about 15,000 miles. We're getting close to about 300,000 probably, I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah, I have racked up the miles. Don't worry about that. Look at the face. Racked up the miles, racked up the gigs. So at the moment, I think I'm on about 4,200 something gigs in my career. The fingers tell the tale. And I'm just, well, now we're in December, you start to get skin splitting. I always get it because you're washing your hands constantly. It doesn't matter that I use hand cream, gigs. This time of year, I think the air pressure and the coldness just makes skin on my hands crack. But it's the way it is. You crack on, don't you? Spring will be here soon enough. Oh, yes. So, yeah, I made a comment earlier. Low Bs on dingwalls are fabulous. This one is. They're like nothing on earth. They just work. That multi-scale neck. And we say that and people get really confused. So basically the G string, I think is, that ends up being about 34 scale length. Because as you can see, the bridges, individual units that are staggered. But the low B is something like 37.5 inches scale length. So you have to buy specific strings. You can buy the Dingwall strings or the Pasons. I've got a load of Rotosound extended length strings, which I need to try at some point soon. But these strings are doing great. So I need to, oh, that needs a bit of an adjustment there. It can go in the workbench over Christmas. But yeah, great. So I can see we've got 7 people with us at the moment. So if you've not been here before, you're welcome. Thank you for attending. This is the last live chat before Christmas, apart from the impromptu ones, of course. We'll be back in January, I hope. I'll block book in a bunch of them, maybe for the month of January. See how we go. If people attend, great. And if they don't, then we'll stop them for a while. But if you've got any, if you run into any bass problems over Christmas and New Year and you think, oh, I could really do with a live chat, find us on social media. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Find me personally on Facebook if you wish. If I can help you, I will. I'll be around, so I'm not going abroad or anything like that. I'm not having a holiday. January, February look quite quiet gig-wise, so the YouTube channel will flourish during that period. And yeah, if I can help at all, more than happy to do so. But yeah, so I need to do the big sell. I have to do this kind of various points in the video. So if you're watching, we have a live chat window here. If you're on the mobile app, it's below the video. If you're on the desktop version, it's that way. Put all your questions and comments in there. You'll also see at the bottom of the live chat window, there's an emoji icon. So add the emojis to the chat as you wish or see fit. There's also a dollar symbol. It's called Super Chat. It allows you to make a financial contribution to the channel, which allows me to hire studio time to do videos and the filming and recording equipment and all the stuff that goes into creating the videos. None of it's for free. I have to do all of this and buy it. So if you wish to make a financial donation to the channel, feel free. So you can use that Super Chat facility in the live chat window. Alternatively, every video here on the channel is monetized because we're a monetized channel. And below the video, you'll see icons for a thumbs up and a thumbs down. You'll see a share icon, save, which means you can watch the video at a later date. There's also a love heart with a dollar symbol in. That's called Super Thanks. That appears for every video on a monetized channel. Allows you to make financial contributions to the creator of that channel and allows them to keep the channel working in much the same way as the Super Chat facility does. So if you wish to make a financial contribution to this channel, it's very much appreciated. It lets us just get the bits and bobs and all the things that you see in the reviews and the workshop videos and all that kind of stuff, and the gear that allows me to produce all these videos. It all goes towards that. So I hate having to do the big sell, but unfortunately I've got to do it. I can see, oh, that's probably my laptop. I just saw there was a bit of a delay on the live feed. So this video will be uploaded as soon as we finish. It then goes up to YouTube. Once it's up there, I can then put stuff in the description box and do all the links. So if you check back to this video tomorrow or over the next couple of days, all the links to everything that's been referred to in this video, links, affiliate links, playlist links, it'll all be in there in the description box. And if you're looking at Christmas presents or you watched any of the videos and you think, I'd really like to buy that, there are affiliate links for amazon.co.uk, amazon.com and Thomann in the description box of every video. So even if you're watching, you could watch this video and you think, I need to buy some strings. Go into the description box, then you have the choice. You can either buy from amazon.co.uk, amazon.com or Thomann. You'll need to do if you're a canny shopper and you're looking for deals and the cheapest prices, you'll need to do that. I don't have the time to be your personal buyer. But if you want to buy some strings and help the channel out, if you buy it through the affiliate link, I will get an affiliate commission from either Amazon or Thomann, and that just helps the channel keep moving. So at the moment, everything in the analytics looks great. Everything is green. Arrows are pointing upwards, which means the channel is progressing, which is all good. If you aren't already a subscriber to the channel, then please feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you'll get notifications whenever I post up new content here on the channel. And if you are enjoying the live chat, hit the thumbs up button. It all helps. It's all positive. Anything positive helps drive the channel along in the eyes of the YouTube algorithm. That's what we're trying to please. It's like trying to please the God, please the genie in the bottle. So yeah, so there we go. So we've done 2 hours and 7 minutes. If you guys have got nothing else to ask or any other questions or comments, if nothing else crops up in the live chat window in next couple of minutes, I'll wrap this up. So let me start that process now. Thank you everyone for watching the channel over the past 12 months. In fact, the last 2.5 years. We're going along great guns. It takes time to build this all up, but I hope you're enjoying the content I provide. I really apologize that in the first 6 months of this year, not a lot really happened. It was just, there was so much going on in my life. Work commitments, gig commitments, there was just so much going on. There wasn't the time compared to the time we had in lockdown to devote to getting stuff here on the channel. But I hope in the last sort of 5 to 6 months you've enjoyed the stuff I've been putting out. I can't do it without you guys, so thank you for all the subscribers, the new subscribers. There's people joining every day, which is great to see. Thank you for all the views, all the likes, all the comments, all the social media interaction. I can't do it without you. So thank you. We'll be back for the live chats in January. But like I say, if you've got any questions in the meantime, keep an eye on the community tab here on the channel, which is YouTube's version of social media. I try and post up on it every day. I'm trying to get in the habit of doing that, which is great. I will get as I said earlier, the bass guitar magazine and bass player reviews, interviews, features, columns, all of that up into a photo album on the Facebook channel page. Yep. Then there's stuff going up on Instagram, Twitter. I just don't get much sort of comeback from Twitter, so we do have a Twitter channel. It's not the most vibrant community, I have to say, or certainly not for me. So if you want to see what's going on, keep watching the community tab here. keep watching Facebook, keep watching Instagram. There's going to be some Instagram reels going up soon as well, which you might want to check out. Yeah, so it's all go really. There's just not enough hours in the day. So if anyone wants to buy me a Christmas present, some extra hours every day, 10 should do it. That will be really appreciated. I can get a lot more done then. But on that note, I see no interaction on the live chat window. So I'm going to wind this one down. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending. Really enjoyed it. Loved some of the questions. Oh, goodness, that was quick. Thank you, Mike. The red wine is cooling. Have a great Christmas. If you don't manage to see one of the impromptu live chats, likewise, happy Christmas, everyone. Hope you have a great time. Be safe. Be careful. Don't drink and drive. Don't be a dick. And I hope we have a COVID-free Christmas. And if I don't speak to you before, although there will be impromptu live chats, I can tell you now, if we don't speak before, I'll catch you in January on the other side. Just be safe and careful over Christmas. Don't eat too much, don't drink too much, or do. Let's do that actually. And I'll see you back here in January, but the channel will be going all through December. YouTube shorts, gifts for bass players coming your way. Could be today. First one might go up this evening. We will see. And on that note, I'm going to bid you good night. Have a great, well, what's left of Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. Have a good week. Keep an eye on the channel. Interact as you wish. And I'll see you soon. Have a great Christmas. All right. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.